also on the screen, of course. And the way we like to start is doing a temperature check on our community and each other. So how are you feeling? How are things going for you? Anything you want to share about something going on in our community or in a working group, in your working group? We don't have too many people today, so I'll be pretty flexible with timing. So I probably won't cut you off until about maybe 2 minutes. So maybe we'll start with Durgadas. We always start with the other person who has their video on. Yes, like then my eyes go directly to you.
Curses.
Yeah, do you mind kicking us off, Durgadas?
Yeah, so yeah, I've taken a little break. I'm not sort of fully, back, but I'm just trying to, pop in here and there. Yeah, it seems like, things are proceeding. I was happy to see we had some new folks coming in with new ideas and things throughout the places that I've been visiting in the last couple of days. So yeah, it's not much of a temperature check. I'm still, dealing with some personal issues, so I won't go into any of that. But it's for sure good to see everyone and see how everybody's doing.
Do you want to pass it along to someone?
Sure, I'll pass it to Manu.
Thanks. Oh man, I'm eating some chilaquiles. You guys don't know what that is? It's tortilla, fried tortilla with chicken and some spicy tomato sauce from Mexico with love. Anyway, yeah, I'm coming from the comms team sync. Before that, I had the marketing sync. We're preparing the marketing team sync. We're preparing the next newsletter. So again, if anyone here has any upcoming events that would like to promote through the newsletter for our audience, for our contact list, let me know and I'll put it there. Get some eyeballs on what you're doing. Other than that, I guess the temperature check is, it's warm. I got a pay. I'm enjoying, filling out the issues and coordinating. Got some more work to do around that. I don't know what else to say. Do hit me up if you need some help with anything, or I don't know, if something's blocking you and you don't want to bother the person that's blocking you or something, do let me know. I'll find a way to diplomatically resolve that. Other than that, I won't take any more of y'all's time, and I will pass it to Septi.
Thanks, Manu. Yeah, temperature check. The audit is going so fast. I have some doubts. Like, I also would like to chat with Tam, Livy, or Griff, someone to get some inputs. But yeah, I think that can go later. And yeah, I'm excited for Amsterdam, meeting some of you again. It's going to be fun. And yeah, excited actually. My focus right now is in the audit in Amsterdam. I'll pass it to Juan.
Yeah, this weekend I had a lot of anxiety surrounding the travel to Amsterdam, but things worked out well, and thanks Tam for helping so much with this, and also so many things happening in Gravity. So many things still to do for the Graviton training. I'm doing as much as I can, and with acid laser and with support from so many people. But tomorrow we will see if we move the starting date at least 1 week to have more time to prepare everything. And yeah, I will pass to Durgadas. You go.
Oh, I went.
Okay. So then I'll pass to Edu.
Juanca. Check for today. I'm excited about how Communitas is developing in the sense of reaching to a result after so many months. It's nice to start seeing that coming out. And I also like the discussion that we had just today regarding what makes you a TEC member and this distinction between being a token holder and the ability to make praise. So I'm really excited to sort of dive into this idea. So I would say hot because I'm excited to dive into this idea of how we can make praise evolve into something that is um, not only a reward system and a sort of a awareness layer, but also a cultural practice that it's symbol of the TC in a way that because and this sorry I'm ranting a little bit, but I see the praise system as a very mini token engineering system itself because it involves so many layers that I feel it's such a nice way for people to understand what token engineering is without getting technical, that I feel that has so much potential to explore as a model. And that with that, I will pass it on to Aloysius. Nice to see you here.
Hello, y'all. I guess I just want to dish praise to like groups. I want to dish praise to Gravity and all the work that they're doing. The Communitas team for all their onboarding and ideating around how to make newcomers feel welcome and make the space accessible. And the comms team for all the work that they're doing, spreading the word of what's happening. Yeah, I know those are kind of broad, but there's just so many people doing so many things, and I'm not too tied into individual labor, but I'm loving everything that's happening. I don't know who to pass it to. I'm super awkward in the passing and the cameras when the screens are on and off, and we're not all in. I'm like really confused in between. So.
I can sling it over to Vi for us. Hey Vi, if your audio is working. Okay, cool.
Yeah, what were we doing? Sorry, it's just a checkup, right?
Yeah, you can come back to talk.
Yeah, it's been interesting. So it's really interesting with praise right now. A lot of people want praise, and I feel like it's finally maybe deployable. However, the last release we did had some bugs, but we fixed them quickly. So, but yeah, really hopeful about this. And pretty much this right now, I'm actually distracted by something I say right now. Thanks. Pass it to Beer 100.
Thanks, Bear. Temperature check is it's like a jungle. It's like super like warm and and humid, but we are after a while here getting used to it, and I feel that's really something that I keep being happy about in communications in general, and also how this week we had like some challenges of and challenges that we had never had before with the gravity process, and I'm just happy to see that everything went well and that things haven't stopped happening and that people can rely on each other. So yeah, I'm very motivated about comms. And also, yeah, major praise to Communitas. I just really like how everything is getting together. I'll pass it to Manu. Have you gone?
Yeah, I think Bunju and myself are the last two. So maybe we'll pass to Bunju.
Sure. Hey everyone. So I'm not a steward yet. I'm just here to kind of learn about the TEC stewards and maybe implement a similar system on Gnosis DAO. Because that's what my trajectory looks like at the moment. Been in talks with Christopher about implementing the praise system on Gnosis DAO. We had a meeting with him last week for about half an hour, and he's going to get the ball rolling on that. So he said that Gnosis is going to be their first customer, so that's very exciting. Temperature here is cold and windy. Internal temperature, I guess warming up, you could say. Glad to be here. This is a great community. Everyone's very nice, very kind. So happy to be here. And then I will pass it to Tam. Tam, you haven't gone, right?
Yeah, I'm the last one.
Alright.
I'd say, I have to say, I don't know if I said this last time, but it's like the TEC has really reached a level of maturity where there's so much going on, and so many things that are happening really well. Like I'll jump on the Communitas bandwagon. It's just the work that they've been doing these last few weeks are really extraordinary. I'm a little on edge for our own steward, Nate, who's like any day gonna be a new daddy. So it's like, what is it today? Is it like every day I'm like, baby icon or no baby icon? Which one? Like, pick an icon. Let me know what's going on. And Gravity's been doing great. Omega's been doing some really, remarkable things for token engineering. I just feel like, the TEC publishing and writing initiatives are really taking off. I just feel like there's a lot of initiatives moving, and it's impossible at this point to know what's going on everywhere. But I think that's why these check-ins actually end up being so helpful, and especially the sprint retrospectives when we find out what everyone is has done and is finishing up. Okay, so thanks for that. Hey, Manu, I was wondering, can you drop the draft for the newsletter in here in this agenda? And that way, if anyone has an idea for it, they can sort of drop it directly in the document, and you can decide whether or not to incorporate it into the newsletter or not.
I shall, yes.
Cool. Is there any votes on Gardens or Tau that we need to discuss? This is just a check-in. I didn't even look, so I'm launching now. Does anybody know if there's any votes that we need any discussion around? You see we have CAD community funding, Teams marketing, retroactive funding at ETH Denver. Okay. Anything in Tau? I'm guessing not. Zep, do you know if the changes for the tributes has passed? I don't know why I'm choosing you. I just feel like you're gonna know the answer to that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the last one. Let me check.
Okay, and Spotlight for Community Call. This is something that Nate usually does. Does anyone have a recommendation for a Spotlight for the Community Call this week? Maybe we can ask the CAD community. Manu, with Nate not here, I wonder if you would mind trying to reach out to who proposed this, actually. Oh, I think Jess proposed it, at seeing if Heater or Jess would be willing to, to use 5 minutes of the Spotlight this community call this week, this Thursday, to share this proposal.
Yes, I'll reach out to either to see who's willing to do that. Is it 5 minutes? The slot? 10 minutes?
It should be 5 minutes at the end. I don't think we could do 10.
Okay.
Yeah, or I mean, we hope to save 5 minutes at the end.
Okay, I'll let them know, and I'll yeah, I'll get back to you on this. Or actually, maybe Nate. I guess it depends. But yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay, Nate just having a baby any day. Like, I understand they'll induce this weekend, so they're already past the the date that they give. So it's like really imminent. And I think Nate's going to take some time off. So I think we could probably expect the next few weeks he's probably going to be lying very, very low in the TEC. So really focusing on his newborn. So reward.
The last one on 30th of March passed. That was the last one done. They started on 30 March and ended up in 4 of April and passed it with like 22 quorum.
Cool. Okay. So we have a few people here from rewards, but I think Livia usually gives the update. Vi, do you think you could give a small update on the rewards working group progress today, since Mitch and Livia and Christopher aren't here?
Yes, I can. There's some details I am unsure about. The reward board stuff, I haven't exactly looked at it. I think there was some agreement about making a post for approval of the parameters that we might be using for praise and for source grid. But in praise, we shipped a bunch of new features which were introduced last week, but mostly it's been UI refactors, design changes. Nothing major as of yet.
Okay, I keep asking the same question, and I know that there's still some things to finish before, but do we have any idea of when our first distribution would happen? Hey, Mitch. Wow, just in time.
Wow, the dreaded question.
I know, I'm sorry I keep asking, but
no, you're right. You're good. So my last update from this, and maybe Chewy's here, is we need to put up this forum post detailing the parameters that we're going to be using. And the community has to say, okay, looks good, and then we'll use those parameters to generate the first distribution. And I think, Chewy, you're working on that with Zepti and Nuggin?
Yeah, they're pretty much only missing my my part. I still have to go through a final review, and just the TLDR I need to like rewrite the whole thing. But yeah, it should be able to get done in the next few hours. And yeah, that's the only thing that's missing, and we already have some feedback from Livy. And yeah, some many like very thorough comments on the document.
Actually, the plan was giving some results on Wednesday on the rewards call. Like our plan, like we did with Chewy and Nagen, like this forum post, and then Livy give us some feedback, and then there's some questions. Like it'd be nice, like if we discuss it in the rewards call, and after the discussion, like I feel like the post is ready to go when we finalize the TLDR.
Kind of an unrelated thing. I don't seem to be able to see or deal with praise at all since I came back. So I just wonder who could help me with that.
Like you can't dish praise or what?
I can't see the praise channel or anything at all. So not sure why.
Oh, I wonder if when you came back, your roles
Yeah,
changed.
yeah, they were reset. I just saw.
Okay.
Also,
So,
you have to send like a command activate
in
and
where?
in the praise channel.
Oh,
And it redirects you to the new
okay. Now
praise
suddenly I can see praise and
Yeah, I see that your roles are updated too.
to sign a message. Okay. I thought I'd done this, but okay. Thank you.
Mitch, can you also update everyone on the request that you had for Communitas?
On the request for Communitas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So just before this call, I scraped all the data from our quants, and so I sent you a list of people who have not activated their account on the Praise dashboard. And so I have that info to you. I can put it somewhere public if we want. But yeah, basically just sending a message to all those people so they can activate their account so that when we send out the distributions, they'll get TEC tokens for the praise they received.
About how many people are we talking about?
Let's have a look here. I think it was about 100. This is from all the way from July.
Yeah, we didn't have time yesterday to cover up in the Communitas call, but we will need to do an outreach. So probably me and whoever volunteers to help outreaching, we will do the outreach, because if I'm not wrong, Mitch specified that it would be nice to have it before next week.
What happens if their account isn't activated?
Well, I think that the TEC is just kind of not sent out. So like it's not sent out to other people, but when they do activate their account, we'll have to send them the amount of TEC that we owe them manually.
Thanks.
So it's not that they won't get it, but it'll be more of a hassle for us to do this retroactively.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks for that.
That actually brings me to a question about that. So like with me, I took a month off, and I do wonder if, if somebody's praised me or something, after that, then what happens to that? Does that cumulatively get set up so that once I come back and hit activate again, then it'll show me that happened?
Well, we'll be able to see if there's an address on file for you or not. So if we do have something on file for you, then it'll just get sent to that address that was there.
I see. But it's not like they're going to say, hey, while you were gone, you had so much praise or whatever like that.
Not that robust yet, unfortunately.
Okay, okay, I just wondered.
But the praise that you received doesn't get lost. I mean, I guess that's the important thing. You might not have received it.
I actually saved it. I saved it. I saved the praise that was, given to you or spoken out to you, and I have yet to dish it, so it's all good.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I just wondered. Thanks.
Also, if I can add, you can always, once the vacation period ends, you can always go back to the praise dashboard and look at the periods and select like quantification period and find out how much praise score was assigned to you in that period. And like if you weren't compensated for that, you can probably make a forum post or ask.
Praise dashboard? Oh my goodness. Where the heck is that? No concept that even existed.
You picked quite a month to leave, huh?
I guess so. Amazing. Okay. So much stuff happens along here.
We have another comment. No, I'm kidding.
Cool. All right. Should we move on from rewards, or is there anything else that anyone wants to ask about rewards or praise before we move on to the next topic? Okay. Okay, so next week there's a bunch of conferences happening in Amsterdam, and there's a handful of us that will be there and probably less available for some of the meetings in the TEC. So Zep, Juanca, Angela, Chewy, Nugget, Manu, are you going to be there? I don't know how you got on this list.
No, I was, which is why I'm on the list, but you can remove me, unfortunately.
Oh, too bad. Okay, and then myself, I know Christopher, Anna Maria, I think there's more people, but Yeah. I guess so. Just that, so that we'll probably be less available or less visible in the meetings next week.
I think Sem is missing from that list. Sem and Paulo.
Paulo. Yeah. Who else did I miss? I think I missed a few people, but okay. Thanks for adding that. Okay. Upcoming TEC presentations, ? We don't have anything right now unless there's something to add here. I think we could also add Twitter spaces in here as well if we are sort of keeping track of like events. Who's here? Mitch, how did the Twitter space go with the proposal inverter? I had to be on a call, so I couldn't join it, but I saw that it happened.
I think it went over pretty well. Like, I mean, all the prep and having questions and getting the prime people in there was super helpful and created some good team cohesion. Obviously, it's a very niche topic, so I mean, you're not going to get like scores of people in there asking about the, but overall it was pretty good. And I mean, Nate kind of pioneering the TEC roundtable, I think it was really cool, and we learned a lot.
Oh, cool! I'm so glad to hear that.
And
Cool.
Also, like 70 people, I think, tune in. So that's
70?
70?
Yeah, it says there on the recap. You see the amount of listeners you had. It says 70, something along those lines.
70.
Oh my God!
Wow.
We
famous.
The other presentation that it's incoming, I mean, that's open for discussion whether we do it or not, is the London Business School presentation. That's on the 27th. That's on the 27th of April. We talked about this with Tam before. I have to be in London by that time, so it would be a good match for me because I will be there. So that's an option to do. And they just want an overview about the DEC, just kind of a use case. They want people from the London Business School to have another kind of point of view regarding Web3 and crypto because they all they know it's about Bitcoin. So that's another one that could be interesting to put there.
Do you want to share some more information about that with this group?
Sure. So the London Business School, one of their members joined our orientation call a month ago, and they have been going back and forth that they have a blockchain week on the London Business School, and they are trying to build a DAO within the student groups that are on there, and they don't have much resources, and it's not resources. They have a lot of resources. They don't have a lot of knowledge resource. So they reached out to Angela and to me to see if we were interested in presenting something during the context of the blockchain week that they are holding in the last week of April. And we went back and forth. I had a meeting with them to just see what they were expecting. And basically the expectation is just to have an organization like ours to present a model outside the Bitcoin spectrum for them to learn more about DAOs and token economics. So that's a little bit about what it is. I don't know if I left out something, but I will share the link to the PDF that they shared with me on what will be the topics. They have one day dedicated to token economics, they have another day dedicated to DAOs, and they have another day dedicated to Web3 in general. I think 3 days total.
Which are the dates again?
From the 26th to the 28th.
Of April.
Correct.
Yeah, cool. I think it's great if you can do it, frankly.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'd love to be in on that too.
Is it open? Is it something that other people can join remotely? Because I would try to tune in as well.
Yeah, I will ask about that because I didn't ask if it had. I guess it is, but yeah, I will ask.
Cool. Okay. Oops. Oh, what did I do? Did I just delete everything? Okay. So I just added because you just made me think about, hey, what about the student body at the London business school apply to be the next Commons for Commons Stack. So the Commons Stack has launched the Commons Prize. And please feel free to share this with any community that you think could benefit from becoming a Commons the same way the token engineering has become a Commons. The Commons Stack core team will, the prize is basically the core team will work with the next community as advisors. So very different than in the TEC. So it won't be stewards, won't be deep in the community, but will help advise on deploying the next Commons. So the nominations are open. The Trusted Seed the nominations are open through the beginning of May. And then we will be vetting the nominations for some basic criteria to make sure that they really are supporting public goods, that they have enough resources to, the criteria is here basically, that they have some familiarity with Web3, that they have some resources that they can support this project, which would take an estimated 9 months. And it's super simple to submit a nomination for a community. We ask a bunch of questions just to make sure that we have enough information. The Trusted Seed will vote on this so that there's going to be some there's going to be all of the nominations that are eligible. The Trusted Seed will vote for the top 3 to 5 finalists. And then of those finalists, the Trusted Seed will vote for the one community that wins the prize and who's awarded the prize. And then in early June, we should kick off the deployment for a new community. I think there's a lot of very interesting communities that could benefit from a Commons, UBI, digital ID, carbon offsets. I mean, there's so many groups of projects that, maybe can't individually support new tools or research for the entire industry that they're trying to support or public goods that they're trying to support. But if they come together, they'll be able to pool resources to promote things that are good for the mission that they're trying to achieve. So I just want to put that on everyone's radar as well. Sprints, so the retrospective is tomorrow. Oh, shoot, it's not tomorrow. It's Thursday, because we're Tuesdays now. The retrospective is Thursday, and the sprint planning is on Friday. And we still have about 30 minutes left. So maybe we can go around and do some updates from different working groups. Unless anybody has anything to add to the agenda, maybe we'll take, 4 or 5 minutes and go around and ask working groups for their updates. So maybe, I don't know, Chewy, do you ready to give some updates from the comms team?
Sorry, Tam, I was distracted on a call. What was the question?
No problem. So we still have half an hour. We are through the agenda, and I was going to go through the working groups and give updates. We can come back to comms unless you are ready to give some updates for this sprint from the comms team, as we're sort of the end of the sprint now.
Yeah, if you could come back so I can quickly check in. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit out of context, but I'm checking the board right now, and if someone else could take it, yeah, much appreciated.
How about Gravity?
Yeah, I can take it. So many things happening. We have 3 cases open and at the same time, and that's really cool because I am not managing all of them. We have leaders for each case, and I feel very supported in that. So that's really good to see people taking agency for mediating in cases, and that's taking some load from me. But from on the other side, there's so much work and preparation for the Graviton training, and also so much support. I feel like Bianca is making an excellent work. We are also very advanced with our negotiations with Aragon, and we will be setting up schedules to make the first iteration of Gravity in other community. They have good intentions to work on that. We're inviting them to the Graviton training. They're making their own flyers to promote access to the type form. And what scares me the most is to not have like everything ready for the 26th of April. So tomorrow we will have a call to see if we like move it 1 week, the start of the Graviton training. But besides that, everything is flowing very fast, and also very excited to go to Amsterdam and leaving everything done here in Barranquilla. I'll pass it to Mitch.
You want an update for a working group?
I feel like Mitch sort of gave us an update on the rewards working group. I don't know if there's anything you want to share about proposal inverter. I see that Mert jumped in as well. It's not technically a working group, but it might be.
I mean, I don't know, just the update with the Twitter space and the quants and all that stuff is pretty much my update. We're going to be wrapping up this year in quantifications, and we're moving on to January, February, and March and all that great stuff next week. And yeah, maybe Mert, if you have anything to add about the proposal inverter, I'll let you go ahead. We talked about the Twitter space already.
Yeah, okay. So firstly, sorry, like I confused with the time of Stewards call. I thought again it's on Wednesday, so but I catched it. So in terms of proposal inverter development, actually we started wireframes. So in the design side, actually it's going very fast and good. I'm very satisfied with it. We did an interview with Angela and Jeff. Like there were very good feedbacks. Also, I would like to invite you guys on Wednesday on 1 p.m. EST. We will host a workshop. So if you like to chime in, it will be like an info dump. Like we will use Miro board, and we'll talk about what will be our pain points in funding, or like receiving funding, or working in a funding project, so that we will create better and more comprehensive user personas. If you like to jump in, I will be very happy. First, I want to say, and other than that, Twitter space, Mitch said you guys talked, but from my perspective, I just want to say it was very good. Thank you, Nate, for hosting and arranging all those days. And from the proposal inverter side, I think that's so one thing. The backend development also has started, so it's going actually very high intensity on these days.
No, super fast. Okay, cool. Maybe transparency working group. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, let me share my screen. 1 second. Yeah, basically, like what we're trying to do, like we did this financial report last week, and now what we're actually trying to do is on every outflow from the proposals, like explain a little bit. Like this part is easy because we have the own dashboard, and with the comments on the forum, some people use the work. Like this part is easy, but the idea is deploy like this. Like how much money the proposal spent, and the milestones the working group reached during this period, and those would be picked from the updates that Manu make every week. But at the same time, I'm having like some issues because like there's some things like it's like invisible work, like it's not in the. It's not in this update, like for example in transparency, like coordinate and facilitate communication in Stewards and different topics. Like this is not something like we see on the weekly updates, but like okay, for transparency, okay, I know, but then for other working groups I do not know, so I'll probably should DM people I can build it with what we have in the forum, but then someone like responsible to update it a little bit. I don't know if that's too intrusive or if we want to do that. And yeah, like we're on the transparency, we're aiming to freeze the audit on Friday. So we will hand it over to Efra so he can make all the designs, and later on, like NT is trying to make the markdowns so we can create an NFT and the DAO can hold the audit for every period. And then I also wanted to say, like on Friday, like in my village, like this week is party in Spanish, like people do not work and there is a lot of people and they want to go on a walk, and I feel like I would love to go there, so I probably missed the sprint planning, but I can coordinate with Manu so he can share my updates, and we'll be there for the recording, so I think everything should be done. And actually, like next spring, we will be on Amsterdam. So yeah, like the big intention is freeze this audit, and then on Friday I have I also talked with Paco to reschedule the meeting on Friday. It's possible to be either tomorrow or Thursday, because the intention is like to build this like the dashboard like we have for the TC converter, and then the ABC with like actually what the Params working group built on the not simulator, the how we call that, yeah, like actually like
Words.
Make the ABC starts actually on the DC converter, so it's more transparent and all the data is there. So we are also coordinating on those for like the next project after the audit, which the audit is planning to be frozen on Friday. Juan wanted to say something?
Yeah, sorry, Seb, that you reminded me that I won't be able to come to the sprint planning too, because that's my first flight. Yeah, that's the schedule of my first flight. Sorry.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, the ABC dashboard is a new project that Zeptimus will be PMing, and we're really looking forward to that. We have I don't know who else knows. Paco Mooney is his name. He's worked on the simulator with SEM, I think, in the past, and he's going to be the lead dev for that project. Can you drop the transparency audit doc in here in case anyone wants to share any feedback in it, Zeptimus, in the agenda?
Yeah, it's actually also pinned on the transparency channel, but let me put it also here.
Okay. Cool.
I just want to add a fun fact. Interestingly, the Dune Analytics dashboard link was the most clicked link of the newsletter. So
yeah, it's a fun dashboard to spend time on. It's really, really nicely done. Okay, cool. Chewy, are you up for giving an update from comms?
Yes, Tam. Okay, so the first one is the latest one that I updated, which is the comms support for the proposal inverter.
Sorry, Zep, you're still sharing your screen, just so you know. Okay.
Okay, so the first one that I updated is 12:20. I added the link for the Twitter space, and I'm gonna be downloading it and re-uploading it to YouTube because it expires on Twitter after 30 days. So after we get that on YouTube, I'm gonna close the issue once that is done. And about the Telegram community security improvements, we did have some improvements, but we still have like a scammer attempt like every 3 or 4 days. So I might actually add another bot that is a little bit more specific for the problem that we are having. So also once that starts working and we have a decrease, like a noticeable decrease in the scammer attempts, I'm closing that. So while that happens, I added 1301 and 864 also while the marketing team proposal gets passed. So I added both of these to in progress, and I put 1191 on blocked since we are ongoing a gravity process. But it should be ready like as soon as we have the a forum post that we are working on. So yeah, hopefully by the time we have this sprint planning by the end of this week, we'll be able to move on with this one and include it for next sprint. And yeah, I think that's it so far. Oh, and I checked in with Casale because I think the front end fixes are already taken care of, but I'm just waiting to hear back from him to add some evidence.
Okay, yeah, I got a message from Casale, but just saying that I think he's going to start being available from today. Maybe that was sort of the message that I got. Okay, cool. And Mert, is there any updates you want to give on Omega?
Yeah, we don't have any issues open yet, even though Manu has contacted with me, because as we have talked with Shebnem, we wanted to open issues after we created like what this really serves for. So actually we are kind of slowly growing, let's say, slowly working. So I think we should change it. Like, so that's my thing. Actually, I want to update on Omega. But other than that, what we are working is creating a research groundwork that can benefit other initiatives of Omega, such as ethical participation sessions, learning sessions, and library project. So we are planning to create a research style, like employing researchers within Omega. Actually, we have some time. I wanted to offer Shemnam that, like, maybe we can. So one of the research groundwork that we are planning to do is how the token engineering parameters will affect human behavior, moral behaviors. So, for example, there's like interesting work going on in OneHive, the osmotic funding. So maybe Omega can like help or work in it as like what will be the result of uh, a voting style that constantly affect the funding parameters. So, like, we would like to explore some those kind of initiatives. Maybe Omega can create like uh, participation guidelines and the creating a concept of responsible voter both for conviction voting and osmotic funding. So, like, I mean, that's what I have in my mind, but I know we are working very not inefficient way. Not an efficient way, let's say. So, like, I would like to try to give my best to change it as much as I can.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that update. Is there anything anyone can do to help?
I mean, no.
Cool. And lastly, Eduardo, do you want to give an update from Communitas?
Sure. So this week, what we have been trying to do is to finish with Gideon. Sorry if you hear noises from the street. We are trying to finish with Gideon the process of trying to understand and come up with a proposal for roles in the TC and how new members, what will be the sort of the boundaries for these new members and the boundaries for a visitor and the boundaries for a member and so on. So we are having this discussion currently on the call, on the weekly sync on Mondays. So Septimus came this week, also Livy, and other folks who join the conversation and provide feedback regarding how we can have these boundaries explored. And probably in a few weeks, we will have a proposal regarding these boundaries, probably on the forum for a wider discussion for the rest of people. Besides that, then we have the outreach that Mitch talked just recently. Yes, and we have the Calendly finally set up and sort of paid. The idea is that we will start organizing the one-on-ones and all these sessions through that calendar. So the idea is that everyone else can also have access to it. If someone asks you about the TC or wants more information, you just share that Calendly link, and they will be then have a one-on-one or a sync with any of the guides. So I think that's pretty much all, if I'm not wrong. Probably there are more things, but I maybe forgot about them. Tam, do you have something else?
No, but I just want to sort of double click on the link for Calendly. So there's a Calendly link that is now going to be hooked up with all the calendars for all of the guides, so that when there's a new community member or an existing community member who wants to set up a meeting with a guide, there's one link that they can go to, and it'll be they'll find a time where somebody is available to speak to them. So that's really, really nice to have now. Cool. Thanks. So we're a few minutes early, and I'm going to suggest we just end early unless there's anything else anybody wants to raise before we close this meeting. Go for it, Wanda.
One small thing, that after this call, we will have the practice groups with Lina and Jeremy. Everyone is invited. Those liberating structures practice groups are being super interesting, so everyone is invited.
Thanks for that, Wonka. That sounds really cool, actually.
Also, I just wonder, how in the world is everyone going to all these conferences? Do they all just decide they're paying for it out of their own pocket, or how does that work? I don't know. I just see, oh, I'm going to this. So there's multiple people who have been to 3 or 4 conferences in the last few months, and I'm just wondering, how does one, get to do that? So I'd sure like to meet some of you in person, but I don't know how to do that.
I think that first we are paying out of our own pockets, but there's the capacity to pass like a retroactive funding proposal in the gardens for a percentage of the funds. I see that's what Freshell did, and for the Denver conference. So it's like, maybe we say like, okay, like a 40% or a 30% of whatever, and we make a retroactive for that.
I have to say, I have some qualms about the retroactive funding. I mean, anyone can propose whatever they want, but I have some hesitation to vote for retroactive funding, because I think that if you're going to request for funding in advance, that's one thing. But if you, fund something and then ask for funding after, I don't know. I have some hesitation with voting for those, just my personal opinion. But I would say, if you're like, there are some organizations that are helping, compensate at least accommodation and travel. For the Common Stack team, we are able to, we have a small budget for conferences. So that's how some of us are going. I think it really depends on organizations that people are with. There's some scholarships as well, too. I don't know if anyone else wants to chip in. Any other thoughts of how to go to conferences?
Yeah, I agree that the retroactive funding, it's a bit weird. And I would just suggest that if you already had in mind that you're going, just propose it on the forum and share a proposal of a budget or something along those lines. And then the retroactive have sense, because it will, it will be accordingly to what you express were going to be the expenses. But then again, it's up for the community to decide that. And I feel like also some people, the work that they are doing brings so much value to the TEC that it's worth for the community to sort of, sponsor that trip or that travel. It's not like you're gonna go 2 weeks, it's probably less. So I don't know. I think I think it's nice to have this conversation in the sense that publicly on the forum somewhere, for no one to be awkward about like, hey, I want to go, but I don't know how to deal with that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's basically my situation. Is I'm just trying to figure that out. I don't know if there would be value to me being there in person. But I just wondered. So thanks.
But Edu, what you said, also like ring my bell, and like maybe for DevCon, we can pass a proposal to try to bring as much people as we can here to Colombia. The people that want to. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it's like the scholarship that I had for Denver for travel was with her DAO. And I know that there's other scholarships that are possible, but I don't know where. It'd be great to have if we could sort of collectively put together a list for that kind of travel too.
Yeah, I
There's
just asked
one
because
called.
I was asking another friend who was like, "Yeah, I'm going to this thing," and I'm like, I just keep hearing people going, and I just think to myself, "Geez, how is it everyone's going to all these conferences all the time, So
Tam, can you talk a little bit about that scholarship from HerdDAO?
Yeah, it was only for females. So it was to help bring more women into these crypto conferences. But I've seen lots of, especially there's definitely lots of scholarships for students. There's definitely, I think that you can apply for scholarships to most of the conferences.
Yeah, there's one called Paladin DAO that I think it's, I'm not sure, but I think it's for students or people that are just sort of entering Web3.
Padawan, is it that one?
Paladin.
Paladin.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Paladin, I think is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. I just put that into the Stewards channel.
Okay, I'll go have a look. Paladin DAO, okay. Thanks for bringing that up, Durgadas, because it's a real question, and I'd love if we could sort of start putting together some of these resources that are available, so more of our community can just are aware of them and can apply for these kinds of scholarships. Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up.
There's also a Padawan DAO. I'm not sure if anybody from this community can apply to it because it's like for young programmers, but yeah, just to keep it in the radar, maybe.
We have Vi.
Yep, and also
that is true. That is true. Yeah. Vi definitely apply for Padawan DAO.
There's also like some community efforts support that the Ethereum Foundation is doing. So also like for the crew that is going there from Colombia, they are also supporting us to have like presence and invite people to the DevCon.
Do you have any links for anything related to the Ethereum Foundation, by any chance? Maybe we could drop them in here too.
We'll share in the Steward chat.
Okay, thanks. And that brings us to the top of the hour. So thanks everyone for this delightful hour together, and I hope you have a really great Tuesday.
You too. Thank you, Tam.
Thank you, Tam.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.